Welcome to Journey Through the Past. We travel the country in search of historical locations, and we love to hear the ghost stories that are connected to them. On this episode, we visit the Country Squire Inn in Warsaw, North Carolina. It was built in 1961 as a humble, small log cabin, and over the years it's been added to. It has a winery now, has a vintage inn, and it also has a wonderful restaurant. So come along and see what we've captured over the years as we journey through the past.
What really lies between light and shadow? Hear the echoes of glory. Turn back the hands of time. Visit beautiful relics. Witness the unseen. Voices from beyond the grave. Oakwood. As we journey through the past.
On my first visit to the Country Squire Inn back in 2010, I invited my good friends from NC Hags and Ghosts of Raleigh to have dinner and come investigate the Squire.
Hello! We're doing our favorite thing. We're eating in the hot spot of the whole property. Right. Two favorite things, ghost hunting and eating. And drinking wine. And drinking wine and eating.
We're sitting in the
This is the infamous Hannah Thistle. Hey, Hannah.
Pay special attention to Hannah Thistle, as she is a focal point later on in the episode.
Okay, go ahead.
We take our work as paranormal investigators very seriously, but we never take ourselves serious.
You look like an alien. Yeah.
We always like to have fun when we get together.
Yeah, let's see. I can't see your eyes. All I see is big. Well, it worked in 13 Ghosts. That's right. I figured I'd give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
Another lady and I were standing here talking, and we used to keep the brandy sniffers up on that shelf. 2 rows of them. And we were standing here talking, not doing anything. all of a sudden, all the brandy sniffers flew off the shelf. I don't remember what we were talking about, or if it would have been anything that would have sparked it or not.
What did you do immediately after, right after?
We busted out laughing. That was the case. But my experiences in here, I was the bar manager in here, and at that time, we had that as a lounge too for part of the bar. I used to come in on Sundays and do inventory. The place would be locked up, nobody in here but me. And I'd be in here doing paperwork, and I'd hear voices and stuff, and I thought, somebody in here? And I'd go run around the restaurant and make sure, because I didn't want anybody to be here. I'd rather nobody be here, and it wasn't supposed to. Never find anybody. Hear footsteps walking down the halls. Doors swinging, squeaking through there. Just never find anybody. So, well, it's ghosts.
93. So,
And you've been here ever since.
well, yes. So that's almost, was give or take, it's almost 40 years.
Now, did you add all of these other, the rooms and the inn and
When it was opened up in 61, all it was a wee log cabin, which is
just
called
this
the
cabin here behind us?
Yes.
Yes.
And it had done so well. In fact, Mr. West, the original owner, also helped build the restaurant, the original part.
Right.
And a lot of old lumber was used to make it look even older than it even was back in 61.
Right.
And I've had folks still coming in and saying, yeah, helped him build it, told him he was crazy, yeah. But he was very successful.
Right.
And so by the late 60s, early 70s, Mr. West added on and added on to go from 76 people that you could see in 61 to the late 60s, early 70s, you could see 460.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of people.
So when I came aboard and we got it, and I added the liquor by the drink and added that wine cellar walkway,
Right.
and then opened the winery about 12, 13 years ago. Everybody that works here now and past employees knew that, yes, the Squire had ghost. We thought ghost.
Yes. Activity.
So, yes.
Yes.
And we always thought the area, it's over 200 years old, that house.
Yes.
An old lady had died in the home, so we all kind of assumed that perhaps it was her spirit that was going through the restaurant. We knew it had to be female because whatever we did or experienced, whoever it was had a sense of humor. So you know it's got to be female. At back, I mean, I've got employees that have been with me 20, almost 30 years, and they can tell stories.
I'm just going to play this real quickly. This is the capture that me and Miss Iris had gotten in the back of the building when she was showing me how to lock the back door.
Turn that to look at.
Okay.
Turn that to look at.
Okay.
It was like, really? And I thought, because that kind of sort of sounds like me. And so I remembered what few employees were still around at that point. So I had gone out to Claire, his name there, and I said, Claire, where were you just about what time and da-di-da-di-da? She says, no, I wasn't home. In other words, nobody else was around that could possibly have mimicked.
While I was next to you, so there was no possibility of it being. Miss Iris, what's a Hannah Thistle? And you told me it's the cat out back, and that's, oh wow, she was asking us about.
Usually if I'm going in and out and the cat's there, say, hey, Hannah Thistle, or Street or whichever one is there.
I know the employees have had a lot of experiences with different things, really great stories. I mean, they've told us over the years about, you know, turning the alarm off and hearing somebody saying, just amazing things. But it's always been pleasant.
Yes,
I know you have, is Miss Linda still with you?
No, she's not actually.
Yeah, she had been an employee for a long time. And when I recorded last time back in 2010, she told me some really good experiences. And how many years have you worked here?
20.
Wow, 20 years. So, have you ever seen any black mists or just things at the corner of your eyes?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that people don't realize.
Well, I was up sick not too long ago, and I came in like on Sunday morning. It was early, and there was one little girl in here with me. We
Right.
went to the building. I had gone in a dairy that room.
Right. Right, straight back there.
Yeah, to get something out of the freezer.
Sure.
And I had my back. I was looking in the freezer.
Something pushed you?
Pushed me hard.
Wow. I wish we would have heard that claim.
I said, Brittany.
Yeah.
And I looked, and she was way up front.
Wow.
And I thought, yep, this is it, you know. They're glad I'm back.
Was you think it's a male presence?
Oh, yeah. This
Yeah. Yeah, male.
Or there's two males that I know of, and I know there's a woman there.
How about children?
Well, these shells right there.
Right.
You see how deep they are.
Yeah, they're very deep.
Nothing should fall off.
No.
So I was here, and there was a couple here, and this jar of mustard and meal had come flying off the shelf and just hit the floor.
Wow.
Way out in the floor.
Well, thank you so much. It's really nice meeting you.
Same here.
And we enjoyed the food. You weren't working last night, but
No.
the food was excellent, and we will definitely look forward to coming back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Let me know when you come back.
I will. You have some really interesting spirits here.
Did you ever see the picture, or did I ever tell you about the wee girl who had seen her, and did Susan that used to work here?
Right.
I don't know if Susan told you the story or not. Up front, right there at the hostess area,
Right.
before you would go up the steps to the baronial hall, Susan had come out from the kitchen and looked, and here's this wee girl sitting on the steps.
Oh, wow.
And Susan could describe exactly what she was wearing. And then several years ago, when I say maybe 4 or 5, there was 4 people sitting at that table just close to where you are. And the lady said to her friend, go over and stand by those steps and let me take your picture.
Oh, wow.
So the lady went over there, and her friend stood up from the table with the camera to take the picture. And as she was about to click, her friend turned, and at the time they took the picture. And the reason the lady had turned her head was because she felt something. And in the picture, the wee girl is standing on those steps over there.
that picture.
And
That's a picture I'd
the
love to see.
clothes that she's wearing is the exact same description that Susan had.
There it is again.
Whoa. Whoa, what's that? You see it?
Yeah.
There it is again. What is that, Jim? It's like a woman to me. Look, the woman or shape? That's got to be a woman. Hey, I'm Billy Edwards, and this is James Britt from the Southern Paranormal Society of North Carolina. We were invited to come out and investigate the Country Squire with Mike and the Heritage Hunters, and we captured thermal imaging of a woman standing right about where James is.
Yep, right here.
Yep, right there, looking directly down the bar at us, filming her. It was an unbelievable experience. It developed from a very small ball to an elongated object, which we were able to film for several seconds before she totally dissipated.
Right.
We've had the footage analyzed, reduce noise, cut out noise, and it is undeniable that it was a woman standing right here, and it was a paranormal origin.
Right, and she was like right here on the bar, like it looked like she was like leaning up against it, right in her living room or whatever, you know, just at home
Waiting on a drink.
Yeah, amazing capture you guys got. What do you think of the Country Squire?
outstanding.
And we love the Country Squire. Great food, great people, and most definitely haunted.
Definitely. We love having you guys come out here and work with us. We had a great time.
We love being with you.
Thank you for inviting us, Mike.
Anytime. All right, Billy, tell us what you're using there.
Okay, this is a parabolic microphone. It hears in very, very low frequencies, and you know, with your headphones on, you can hear whispers or disembodied voices. Even if you don't, you know, I can record it too, also to the digital recorder. So it's just a tool we use for a low, very low sound.
Hey, this is Eddie with NC Heights, North Carolina Haints Apparitions, Ghosts, and Spirits. On this investigation, we were asked to go to the Country Squire Inn with Michael from the Heritage Hunters. It just so happened we had been there before with him on a couple of other occasions. On this investigation, Billy Edwards captured some very interesting video, and this is the original video that Billy let me have to analyze so we could see a little bit more. So what I did with Billy's original footage was to turn it negative. And that was my first starting point, just to see what I was dealing with. So it brought out the features a little bit differently than what we had been seeing. We knew there was an entity or possible ghost that was in the video, but this brought it out even a little bit more.
So you were telling me about an incident that happened in this room. What was it, maybe last year or so?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Several months ago.
Right.
I was serving dinner in here and had my skillets in my hand coming up to the table that's normally right here. And as I was setting them down, I just happened to glance something out of the corner of my eye. And it was just a figure standing there. And I did a double take and it was just gone. And it was kind of weird, like.
And you
Where
knew
did
that
it go?
and that
yes,
hallway
and
was
all the lights had been closed. You know, they were all off, and Miss Lennon had already locked the door, and
right.
they were my last table, and
Oh yeah.
so it was all quiet in there.
And what did the person look like?
It's just like a tall figure. It looked like kind of long hair, and you know, just standing there. I reckon.
Thank you so much.
You hear me?
No. I heard your little.
Oh, I just heard a voice.
What'd you hear?
Oh, I said hello.
Gotta say hello.
Who's there?
Did you hear a voice?
Yeah.
Well, that's the
It
next time
wasn't
we
real
go.
clear, but it sounded like it said hello and it was muffled.
Was it a woman?
Yeah.
That's what we heard last time.
Okay.
In that room. Yo. Yo. You're on that way. Just gonna stick this camera somewhere. Okay. All right. This will cover here. Yours is covering there, and we'll work in there. Just that if someone wants to peek around here, that's how I think, you know. Actually, bring it up here a little bit.
That's a great idea.
Yes. I never catch anything, but at least I'm.
But you tried.
Still going. Still going.
We just want to wait for tomorrow. We need to go back to it.
Before that camera goes.
That was me. Is that what the sound made?
Actually, a table being like pushed, you know, like somebody bumping into it. We had visited one of the many times, and right at that table there, we were sitting having dinner. And the one waitress who's worked here for about 20 years, Jenny, was coming through here. She was heading to the kitchen, and she didn't even come by this table. She was right about here. She was zooming by, and just as she did, this chair went just like that, flew over by itself. There was people sitting here, everybody was startled. And she turned around and looked right at us, and she said, "Every time you guys are here, this stuff happens." And people didn't know what to think. So it was really interesting. They didn't realize that we were investigators, but it was a really neat experience to see right in front of our eyes.
Trying to locate some places. I did hear about how the Squire was very active, and of course I was interested how historical it was. The owner taking wood and other materials to build what is now the Squire, and so that made it sound like, well, yeah, there should be some activity from all of the different places that he took the material to build the restaurant.
His energy as it came down the steps, and he was right directly behind me. To me, felt masculine, a stronger presence, and I tried to communicate with this person, and he did not present himself as being really old. But I could sense that. I felt the presence, and I was trying to say, hey, there's somebody behind me, but, you know, there was no vocal. There was no voice to hear.
We're getting all set up here. Everybody say hello.
Hey.
Got all our gear here. We're getting all set up for this evening's investigation. The Country Squire, and got a lot of equipment going up. See what we can gather for everybody. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
There was a lady by the name of Emily, or Amelia. I was stretching it, but the way you said it to me.
I've seen the little girl that is here. She usually is in this area. There's a door off to my left here, and it goes into the kitchen, and that's usually where I stand. And I've seen a shadow running it back along these tables, and then cutting back through and running through here, and I see it through the little window. Usually I'm in the kitchen, and there's a little table on the other side of this door, and will stand there once in a while and look through the little glass window that's there, and I have seen the little girl running back and forth, and she stopped one day and looked into the window, and that's how I knew what she looked like. And
So what does she look like?
she is probably about this tall. She has medium, long, dark hair. She's very, very pale. She has wide eyes. And pretty much that's all I've seen. I have never seen her body or anything like that. I've just seen her face one time.
Have you been able to tell if she's wearing any kind of clothing or dress, or not really?
No, not
Okay.
really. I just kind of like right here because
Right.
of the size of the window. That's my guess of how tall she is.
Right.
When I started working here, my sister-in-law actually asked me if it was haunted because she had heard it was haunted, and I didn't know. And when I first come to work here, nobody really said anything. And then after a month or so, I had asked about the weird noises or whatnot, and there were spirits in the building, and that I might hear a door open or a wall bang, mumbling, which I've heard mumbling quite a bit. It kind of sounds like there's a party going on in the other room, and there's nobody else in here but me, because I come in on Saturdays and Mondays to clean, and I'm usually the only one out here.
So you had seen the man in the other room?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just go over there into that doorway. And did you see him in the room itself?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just go over there.
This room, when I come in the morning, it's completely dark, and I will walk through, and as soon as I turn on the light, I don't see anything, but there's a door to my right. And when I come in, I have seen a man standing here several times. He's got like an old hat on and maybe
Right where you're standing.
bulky coat. Yes.
Okay. And does he just disappear?
Yes. As soon as I turn on the light, there's no.
I captured something that's interesting. I don't think it's a reflection. You have to always be careful with photos and glass. What do you think of that picture?
This picture, I think that this is the little girl that I had seen in the meet in the courtyard. It's got the dark hair. Just looks like she has wide eyes in here and the pale face that I had seen on that little
Shelf.
Yeah, the little shelf that's right there
Right.
and whatnot. And she looks like she was probably looking at you.
Looking right, because I was 4 feet away from her, you know. And but you think that that's the girl that you've seen?
Yes.
Pretty close to her description. Right.
Very close. Here on the other side is the tavern, and I was sweeping. I was standing probably about here, and it kind of, that's what it sounded like. And I was standing about here sweeping, and I kind of jumped and I hit this chair, but there was nobody else in the building. It scared me a little bit, but.
Alrighty, we're making the rounds here, and we are now in the pantry room. And this was the sunken room. This used to be a very popular room because this was bring your own booze room back in the day when it was a dry county. Okay. So what do you think, Marty? What do you think of this place?
I think it's pretty neat.
You're starting to hear, I mean, you're hearing things, and that's cool because, like I said, audio-wise, you're going to find things that you did not hear. And here tonight, we're hearing a few things.
Odd noises and stuff.
That thumping. I've been here how many times? Never heard that big, huge thump right in that corner. And it was relating to somebody we were talking about. So they either like them or they don't like them. Who's here with us? Anybody? Okay, me and Marty were over here at Baronial Hall, and we're using our thermal imaging camera. So you can see Marty in the background, and you see the thermal. So I'm going to step in there, and we're going to do some sessions right here. Can you make a noise for us? Are you hearing anything?
I hear some static with it. Supposed to it picked up.
There we go. It's starting to pick us up. Who's here with us? Just want to make sure it's not coming from the radio at all. And you notice that meter's not going off. This is very sensitive, this device.
Joe, is that you? Are you here with us?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So what I normally like to do, I'm showing this camera here, I could walk and I can even go up high with this antenna. And if there's anything hovering above me, I can normally capture it. I like to always check fixtures, see if there's any kind of bleeding of outlets or electric. There's nothing there. I like to check these lights. Nothing. Because you did see right there a few minutes ago. That was neat. See that right there? Catch them off guard. Okay, so that's, and usually when I've used this in the past and it's gone off, I've gotten some good EVPs during that time. So I'm going to say that it's picking up an energy that these other meters can't pick up.
Let me ask you, have you picked up the little girl in other occasions?
Only got her that one time.
Just at one time.
Way in the back, yeah. And we will target that area too.
Are there any stories or any experiences here with children, of any of the staff?
There is a photo a few years back, and she always says, the wee girl. She always, that's, you know, her brogue is, oh my God, it's the wee girl. But that was amazing to her, and that was in 2010.
Okay, after working with the video a little bit and seeing it in different colors and different hues, we also wanted to see it just a little bit better than that. So I contacted a good friend of mine who is a retired photographic expert. This is what he pulled out of one of the frames of the picture, of the video. So we actually really were seeing something as to where he isolated an actual entity in one of the frames. This is the picture that was lifted from the original video that Billy had done. And it's pretty obvious that there's something there in the middle of the picture. We knew we were seeing an entity or a ghost or some sort of apparition. But when the photographic expert stopped the video and actually lifted this out of it, it was very obvious that something was in that room being filmed that night.
Goodbye.
Where, you're just gonna wander around?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk the whole perimeter. I'll go to the pantry in the back room. See what I can do.
Okay, this is Danny. Eddie and Jeff have just left, and I am in the running the hall by myself. Maybe. I'm sitting in the stony audio recorder on the chair by the steps. Getting the notebook. Cash register. They here in the chair. Okay. Anybody wants to talk to me? I'm here to listen. I don't know if you remember me from last time. I was here about a month ago. If anybody's here, could you give me a sign? I'm not sure what just set off the radio.
So tell me again what happened.
What, with buzzing?
Yeah.
I was sitting over in that chair behind the cash register.
Right.
And I forgot exactly what I asked, but I asked if someone could show me they were here. If they were here, give me a sign. And I heard a gnat in my ear. What I thought was a gnat. I did this. That's rolling, right?
Yeah, it
Several
can't really see you
times.
too much. It can hear you more than see you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was swatting in my ear, and I did it real fast, thinking the gnat would go away, and it didn't. And then I just did it, moved my hand really slow by my ear, and it made no difference whatsoever in the sound.
Huh. That's interesting.
So,
Any crackling from the radio?
yeah, it did.
Mm.
And it seemed responsive at some point. So that's Mr. West, I said?
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
Painted as a baron?
I think so. Tell me if you sense anything, feel anything. Is the lady of the house here? When you come by my friend Danny, say hello.
I have really good hearing, so if you try really hard, I may be able to hear you. And I'd love to talk to you. Did you hear that?
What'd you hear?
A female voice.
Uh-huh.
It sounded like it was coming through the wall though.
Well, my recorder's right there. Look where my recorder is.
Yeah. Could you repeat what you just said? Okay, I just got a cold breeze on my right shoulder.
Yeah. Is that you?
No. That wasn't you?
No. Somebody crying. It's okay. You don't have to cry.
Behind you.
Yeah. Are you scared? You don't have to be scared of us. We're friends. What did you think of that?
It sounded almost electronic.
To me, it was kind of like somebody crying right next to me.
Really?
Yeah. I'm trying to make sure nothing's moving. And why did it go away?
What?
Why did it go away? The sound.
I don't know.
I've never heard that
But
before.
I felt real uneasy for us. I'm so sorry. I'm not here to scare you. We're here to talk.
A few months after our investigation, I decided to drive up to Virginia and visit Marty to see what he felt about the Country Squire Inn and all the spirits that were there. He also showed me around this beautiful, historic train depot.
Hi, I'm Marty Seibel with Black Raven Paranormal, and welcome to my hometown of Stanton, Virginia. We are here at the depot station, one of the most active, paranormally active locations here in the town. To tell you a little bit about it, it was actually founded in 1854. We have haunts here that include Civil War soldiers, an opera star from the late 1890s named Miss Merle Knox, as well as several Western state patients that have been hit on these tracks. We do ghost tours here. We run those from April until October. It's a very popular location. We have a lot of people that come down to this location just to mill around or whatnot and have several personal experiences. One in particular, over the years, we've had women with longer blonde hair have had it pulled or tugged at for some reason. That's happened a few times during the season, during our tours. It has not happened this year. I would love for it to happen, but it has not. Well, Michael with the Heritage Hunter Society had invited me to investigate with him at the Country Squire Inn. And I've known Michael for several years, and he had sent me some photographs of the location. I was really enamored with it. Thought it was a wonderful looking location. I just loved the look and the feel of it. To me, it appealed as a dark, cozy type of location that I got really good feelings about it. And I know Michael very well as a paranormal investigator. I've always admired his work and everything that he has done. And so I was very eager and excited to go down and participate in this investigation. I love the food. We did a little wine tasting. Wonderful experience. Everything I thought it would be, as from what I had watched and the videos, photographs I had seen, Michael sent me, so I was very a good solid investigation. And as I know with Michael Laciano, the places that he goes, they are quality locations in his work and everything. So I expected it to be a really good investigation, and it lived up to its bill. First of all, I really enjoyed, I liked the feel and just the look of the tavern room. And so what I had done was I actually put a Solo X cam, infrared Solo X cam camera in there to record while Michael and I were in another part of the inn. Basically just to focus on a trigger object, but yet to record some audio as well. And came back a short time later, evaluated what was on it the next day. Was really amazed at some of the quality of the audio that was on there. Audio that definitely come from within the room, of what sounded like a conversation between a few people, and then a louder male voice at the end of that. Very good. And I was amazed really, because like I said, the investigation did live up to its billing. The quality of the EVPs, the audio that was captured, just a wonderful experience.
We were invited to the Country Squire by Michael to go. Didn't know what to expect when we went. And when we got there, it didn't take too long to figure out something was going on, especially in there's a sunken room part, that's what I call it. And it was very dark feeling. It was very odd feeling in that room. I knew something was off.
Back in 2010, when we first went to the Country Squire, first impression was I thought this was a really cool place. You could tell that it was a lot of different buildings that were added together, and the overall feeling inside was very comfortable, but kind of eerie because of the lighting and stuff. It was just a very neat place.
I'm Brandon, along with Eddie from NC Hags. Talking about the Country Squire, I was only there once, and we sat down for dinner, and as soon as you get in the place, you feel like you're being watched. Then lights out, investigating, nobody else in there but the investigators, and you're still being watched the whole time. It is definitely haunted.
You want me to come close? And then you'll touch her?